Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be building some more of these 3D printable kit cards. We've got a Lambda Class Shuttle and a Tie Interceptor. And, I think I want to do the Tie Interceptor first, so let's set this off to the side. And let's start with the middle section, so we've got something to build off of. So let's take you and you. There we go. Got those. And I'm almost entirely certain it goes in like this. And then you. I'm going to clip on the end like so. Then let's get the rest of these bits out. I want to call those wings, but I know they're not like plain wings. I know that's not what they are. Let's see. Let's get these last few bits out. There we go. And we're done with the card. And let's clean up some of these bits. I don't have anything hanging off of them anymore. Maybe a little bit right there. Then I need to grab my handy dandy clippers. Yes, I do need to get some offset clippers. Let's grab you. That's obviously a sprue. Let's see. You go on a bit like that. No, you go on like so. No, I had it right the first time. Goes in like that. And then, of course, grab the wrong one. Nope. There we go. So we've got one side, and that's just going to clip in right there. Then let's build the other side. How did I do that? I did it like that. There we go. And it just slots right in. It's a little loose, so once again, I'm going to have to get out the glue. On the upside, I have some, sprue getting in my way. I have a little bit better glue this time, I think. Okay. Bam. There we go. We have our tie interceptor. Let me go find that glue, and I'll glue that together, and we'll come right. And I'm back with the glue. I'm not 100% sure that this is the right glue, but it is a gel, so it won't seep in quite so deep. And look, we're already falling apart. Let's take this bit. We're going to put just the tiniest dab on the tip here, and then work our ways down. Okay, got those, and you just slide in like that. So I don't have the kicker for this, so it may take just ever so slightly longer to cure. Now I can get the other side. Just the tiniest dab of glue in each spot. I figured the gel it's gonna hold where it is a little bit better, and I have to be a little bit less careful on how I get it in there. There we go. Give that a few seconds. Probably going to go through this bottle a little bit quicker than the other stuff. Kind of wish I'd been able to get a smaller bottle, because I'm leaving it open off to the side here as I let this cure, which means there's stuff curing in the tip here. So let's get another one of these little dabs. Get you there, and then each side of these pegs. I figure using tiny amounts will probably mean it cures just that much faster. So even though it hasn't fully cured, I'm sure you've seen me almost stick myself a few times. It should hold sooner. Okay, and we're going to wash, rinse, repeat. So if you're used to these kit cards, it's not going to be news to you that you have to super glue each of these little bits. I think this would make a pretty good gift. Like you print one out and send one to a friend. There we go. Got you on there. And you ought to hang, no problem. I think this would be fun. Also, I may or may not have mentioned in the last video that you can print these bits without the card. I just wanted the full experience, so I printed the entire card. And we'll let that sit for just a few seconds until it feels like it's just a little bit stiffer. And that ought to do it. Let's pull you off. Guess you didn't need so much glue, but we're going to give you some anyway because I don't want you to fall apart. And of course, I intended to give you less glue, and I gave you more. So when I'm done, I'm assuming, so this is a brand new bottle, I've never used it before, I'm assuming that I'm going to have the problem of the white bits. So if you, and I've glued myself, and again, where the heck do you hold something like that? Oh, okay. Well, you're mostly cured. Are there any bits that, yeah, this is going to need some. I might as well put just the tiniest dab deep in the center here. Hopefully that will flow. It's not going to flow through. So I need both kinds of glue handy. The gel, because it's kind of nice that it holds in place as I build stuff, and I need the thinner stuff to go deep in these joints here. But I think as soon as I get these, oh, of course, I've been glued. Anyway, we're done with the Tie Interceptor, and it's time to move on to the Lambda Class Shuttle. And here's our shuttle. I think maybe the camera has moved just a touch. It'll be fine. No, we're gonna adjust it. So we're gonna move on to this Lambda Class Shuttle now, and I think, despite not doing it, or despite how I assembled that last one, I do think it is very important to go through and assemble it and then glue it. Like it felt like it might have been a good idea to glue on the first try, but if you've built models before, you know you never glue on the first try. It's kind of like the measure twice, cut once. Yeah. This is coming apart quite nicely. And we're done with the card. I think these pieces come apart because they look like they're held together by sprues, but we'll find out here in just a second. Also, this was a print-in-place joint. It printed perfectly fine, already assembled. So I'm assuming, yeah, it folds up like that. Okay, so thinking about it, these wings should go in here. Or does it fold up like that? There's no way it folds up like that. Might fold up like that. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. But I think we can safely assume that this is the central wing. Oh, no, there we go. That's in there. properly now, and is definitely going to need some glue. Oh, this looks so cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get that thinner glue, because I think, especially on this one, it's going to come in extra handy. Okay, let's clean up the rest of these bits real quick, and we'll get back to it. Well, that was an eventful last couple of minutes. So, of course, as soon as I started breaking stuff off, it decided it was going to fall apart. But we'll go ahead and put these wings back in. Would really help if I put the right ones on the right side. Okay, we'll stick you in over here, and you should balance that out. Cool. Okay, so this bit looks like it goes right here, actually. Yeah, that looks about right. And this bit looks like it goes probably slots in right here. Yeah, I'm really regretting the not gluing as you go, just from a stability standpoint, but that's starting to look pretty good. On the back here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like we've got 3 little tabs for this to tab into. There we go, that's tabbed in. These wings are just going to keep falling off. They are. That's going to happen. And this piece, that looks like the cockpit. Let's see. Yeah, on the sides of these little insets, there's a little place for them to just click right in. Boom. Okay. So I think with a little bit of gluing, we're basically done with our Lambda Class shuttle. So let's go ahead and start gluing. Okay. Top of the glue is off. Let's do the wings first, since they are the biggest pain. Okay, got those 3 done. Set you in there, and see, do we want it wider? We want it to touch here. I think that's about the angle that we want. And I'm just going to hold it here for a couple of seconds. And that should take care of itself, because if it fits right like this, then we're good. Yeah, I didn't put too much glue on there, but maybe, just maybe, I can hold that in place while I glue over here. And what good cutting mat doesn't have a little bit of super glue on it? If you've noticed, the lighting situation has changed just a touch. It's more of a positional thing than anything. There we go. I'll hold you up in place as well. Make sure that you are nice and even, or as even as we can get. And I'm going to hold that and cap the glue while we wait, because this is not a joint that we can let just float around willy-nilly. Okay, so that's close enough. They're holding themselves together fairly well. They return to the same position every time. Now it's time for... oh, that looks cool. That looks so cool. Anyways, it's time for the other bits. So I can slide this whole section out, remove this bit, and it all starts to fall apart. But that's okay, because we have glue. It should hold itself together fairly well, no matter how we manhandle it. But just that little dab of glue is enough to give us a little peace of mind. Wait, that's not right. That's backwards. There we go. Okay, so we've got these bits in. As long as they stay in one spot, we should be okay. And then just the tiniest dab of glue here at the top on both of those bits, bridging that gap. so that when we shove in this last piece, it spreads it for us. So angles should not be super duper important here, just as long as it is square to itself. I'm going to sit here and hold this for a little bit and let it cure and put the cap back on the glue. You know, in hindsight, while it cures, it's gotten a little bit sticky, but it's not quite like done yet. We may be able to pop this back section off without breaking anything. There we go. Back section is off. Slid out the central portion. So let's do our trick of bridging the gap with just a little bit of glue. Nice gel blob. You go in this top slot. That has smeared it to the back. Then we want to put a little bit right here. That will be okay. And then we will click you in to your little spot. Make sure you're nice and level. And then on this side, we're going to put a nice healthy glob of glue right there and get it to drag it across. So this model is not going to be under any crazy amount of stress. So, oh, you know what? We can actually fit a little dab of glue back here on these bits to also hold it together. So assembling it in modules like this is actually super duper handy. There we go. That should hold itself in place. And of course, I just glued myself to myself. We'll use a little bit of the back of this to get as much of that off as possible and set you on something where you're not actually touching the table. And once again, we'll be back after we let it sit for a bit. I probably haven't waited long enough, but I'm impatient. So we're going to go ahead and see about mating up the cockpit and the sidewalls to the rest of the model. Mostly because I don't want things to get slightly out of whack while I'm waiting for things to cure. And I'll be able to make these adjustments as necessary. And we're going to, once again, bridge these gaps with a little blob of glue. If I did want to take this apart later in the future, it wouldn't be asking too much of some hot glue to hold this together. And I think that is the last bit of the glue that we need to use. And I probably need to go wash my hands off before I stay glued to myself. But, oh, there we go. There's our Lambda Class shuttle. I think this was once again an excellent model designed by Fix'em Dude over on Thingiverse. If you need the link, let me know. I will send it to you or put it in the description. I just kind of wish there was something to kind of limit that angle to the right angle, but whatever. I'm going to let this cure, and let's see, where did I set? There we go. This guy. This guy should be fully cured and glued up, and it's great. It's solid. Sorry for being a little out of frame there, but that would make a good Christmas ornament. That little blob of glue is going to bother me for forever. Oh well. I got a 3D printer. I can just print another one if I don't like it. Anyways, thank you for joining me. I enjoyed this very much. I hope you did too. Well, it looks like that's going to do it for us today, guys. I wanted to say thank you for hanging around this long. If you did and you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. Just so you don't miss out on any of the other cool stuff coming on down the road. If you'd like to hang out with us, please hit us up on Discord. Link is in the About section on the channel, or you can go to discord.onesnot.com, and I will see you guys in the next one.